Well, maybe I might need to stop making these little videos. The more videos I make, the more unpopular I make myself. Because I'm in a total revolution against, I don't really care to use that word against, but against everything on planet Earth. The entirety of our last few thousands of years, many thousands of years. I am 100% for the evolution of planet Earth, starting with each of us. Evolution requires first the death of what was, the death of the past. Because if you hold on to any part of what was, then you get all of what was. You get your future repeated. My suggestion is we have been repeating our history for way too many thousands of years. And now is the time to end it. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. You didn't know I was Elvis, did you? So that song back then was actually true. And what I'm doing is the manifestation of a new consciousness. A consciousness that has no violence at its core. It can only bring forth peace because all it is peace. You see, if there is to be peace on earth, goodwill toward men, I had to throw that in there for the Christian people, then it must start with peace within. Peace within me, peace within you, and peace within all the millions of people who are listening to this broadcast. I laugh whenever I say that because the last time I said that I caught a lot of flack for bragging. Lying, actually. Maybe it's not a lie, though. So, the more I speak, the farther I get to wherever you are. And people drop off because they say, well, yeah, this, but this is good, and this is, oh, I like this part, but you see. However, in a foul, slimy, dead consciousness that is born of knowledge, thought, and belief, there is no good. It's all evil. All of it. Even that which appears to be good is only good in relation to how bad everything else is. So the music sounds really great because I think you get the point. Maybe you don't, but when it's in relation to violence, which is this planet, war to war to war, then that is only in relation to. You see, it's not reality. Reality is peace. No reason, no justification, no explanation. You see, we are in the place where we are because there's reasonableness, there is justification, there is explanation for everything. We can explain why there was World War I and why there was World War II and almost World War III. We can explain why we do all of these things, you see. Because explanation, justification, and reason are three forms of insanity. And we are lost in that domain of activity, the domain of thought, knowledge, thought, and belief. So the more I speak, the more people I lose, because very few people are in a complete and total 100%. I really don't care to use the word revolution, because revolution implies guns, bomb, bullets. Psychological or mental revolution against all of what we have become. And by the way, that's the secret to heaven, nirvana, peace on earth, is that it must first reside within you. Then from there it can begin to manifest itself outwardly. But if you have, I am a good person because God tells me to be, I do these things so that I can get into heaven, then in a certain way that's even more cruel than the wars and the rapes and all of those things that sort of thing manifests. Because it means to say you live in a fake dream world of, here we go, knowledge, thought, and belief. This is a certain level of fun. It is Edward having conversation with the universe. And not very many people. As a matter of fact, more conversation that I have than the less people, as I've said there. Where'd that little bug come from? Get out of there. So, is it possible for you to see your own insanity? Is it possible for you to consider, even in your wildest, oh no, this isn't possible, but maybe, that you're insane? That you agree to live in a world that goes from wars to war to war to war to war. The farther back we look in our history, the more we read about wars. Alexander the Great, well, I don't know how long you have to go back, but at least from the standpoint of our history, there's two things that are prevalent. And here we go. I'm going to make myself real unpopular with the God believers. There's two things that are prevalent right from the first, perhaps, breath that we take, or at least our history, as our history says, and that's religion and war. Those two things are forever with us. Has it ever occurred to you that they might have some relation to one another? Like they are the same thing? What do they call that? Dual? Something about dualistic. I don't know what that is, but the same thing, you see. Love and hate are the same thing. If it's got an opposite, then it's not real. It is of, here we go, knowledge, thought, and belief. And I'm speaking with you folks, all of you millions, maybe billions, from the place of creation, intelligence, truth. So, as I said earlier, the longer I speak, the more people I lose. Given people want to hold on to their connections. They want to hold on to their children. They want to hold on to their mothers, their fathers, their brothers, their sisters, they want to hold on to all of their attachments rather than letting them be free, letting them be free. There's no other way of describing it, because I cannot describe what free is. You see, because free is what happens when you have no connections, when you have no attachments. And did you notice I used the word no attachments? It means, actually, what no attachments means is no attachments. So, is it possible for you, one of you even, one maybe out of those who might be listening, to consider that you are insane? You are a liar, a thief, and a cheat. And that you support a world that is filled with liars, thieves, and cheats. Because if you don't, then you can't be one. You see, they call that, there was some kind of a word, conspiracy of ineffectiveness. As long as we all stay ineffective, then those people who are not ineffective can rule us. They can, the old story of there's 100 cookies on the plate, and the corporations of the rich people take 99 of them, and then they say, watch out for that other person, they're going to take your cookie. You see, and we fall for it. We fall for it. So is it possible for you, any of you, to consider the possibility for evolution? Evolution requires the negation of all that is. Do you hear that word that I use? I wonder. All? All is a little like the word new. The word new, when I use it, means never having been before. The word all, when I use it, means all of. Negating all of that which has been for thousands and thousands of years. And for thousands and thousands of years, the two main ingredients in our life has been God belief, religion, and wars. Those are the two oldest factions. So do they travel together? However, if you negate both of them, 100%, what would you discover? You might discover God. I almost said that word. You might discover what? Creation, intelligence, and truth, which is reality, actually is. And in that discovery, first you will discover, I'm suggesting here, don't let me tell you what to do, that knowledge, thought, and belief are all of the dream world. They're the mirror image of reality. And they have been directing our world right up to this point. Here's the problem. And I'm going to sign off after this. Maybe never to be heard from again, as Trump said. If I don't win, you'll never hear. Anyway, here's the problem. I'm suggesting now. Doesn't mean that it's true. I'm saying we are at the point of complete and total destruction. Perhaps, as I've said before, Bucky Fuller's statement, maybe the end of this experiment called life on planet Earth, or in the Bible it calls it end times. Or there is a possibility, another possibility. I call it a possibility. Strange, huh? How I would call it a possibility. For transformation, the death of the old and the birth of the new. Pretty simple, huh? Okay. 15 minutes and 35 seconds? Oh, way too long. Way too long. Way too long. My mistake. I apologize. Good night.